What's up guys, Chris Pabs back with another Gunpla video review. This time we're taking a look at the 1/144 scale high-grade Verde Buster from Gundam Seed Stargazer. You can get this kit and many more at Canadian Gundam. Use the code Gunpla Network to get yourself 10% off your next order with flat rate shipping to the US and Canada. Now, fun fact is that one of the first kits that I built was actually the high-grade Buster Gundam, which is the predecessor to this Verde Buster. Now, I absolutely love the design of the Buster. I love the cannons, the gimmicks that it came with, and this thing kind of carries that over, albeit with a few issues that we'll get into here real quick. Now, from the get-go, I absolutely love this design. You can tell that it is an evolution from the Buster design with some really cool upgrades like the shoulder cannons, the bigger waist cannons, and then kind of like the massive grill piece and the grill knees, which kind of it takes from that initial Buster kind of head crest. However, does that necessarily translate to a good Gunpla kit? Let's go ahead and find out. Now, like I said, I absolutely love this design. I think it takes the best parts of the Buster and just dials it up to 11. I really like the kind of the grill in front of its face that used to just be the V-fin middle part of the Buster, which can get out of the way. So you can see there are some eyes back there, which you can paint to kind of pop more. And now, in terms of articulation, the head can move around about this much. However, the neck is a little bit loose in the torso. However, it isn't hindered. Now, the arms can go up about this much. However, the rotation is about this much, and that is pretty abysmal just because of those waist cannons. The shoulders are so big that they kind of bang into the waist cannons and they get in the way big time. In terms of waist articulation, there is none, again because of the waist cannons. There is no ab crunch. The front skirts are connected and they go up about this much. The legs around about 90 degrees. And then due to the fact that the back skirt also has no articulation, the legs can really only go up to about this much. There is a thigh swivel here on both legs. And then the knees can go just over 90 degrees. And then finally there is an ankle pivot which can point down and up due to it being a ball joint. So overall the articulation is pretty poor overall just because of the design. So it doesn't necessarily translate very well to a highly posable kit. So you're quite limited to how well it can go. Now the weapons up on the shoulders can kind of swivel. Those are also on ball joints, but that's really about it. Now the gimmicks on this kit are obviously the weapons all over this thing. So the big ones are the waist cannons here that are on sub arms, which can go up. Now they do come off very easily, and honestly, the best way to kind of deploy the gimmicks on this thing is to just remove the waist cannons altogether first and then deploy the sub arms. So what you'll need to do is just kind of extend it out and then get them into a configuration where the two joints kind of fold onto itself so that it is angled at a kind of a 45-degree angle. Now that can get a little finicky just due to tolerances. And then once you have it in the right spot, you can place the waist cannon back on, and the ball joint is actually on a rail, so that gives you kind of the freedom to kind of move it forward and back to where you need it to be. You can see it is very kind of finicky. It's difficult to get all of this done without having to remove the waist cannons, which is a shame. And then the best way for it to hold the weapon is to just remove the hand altogether. And then with most high grades, the best way to do it would be to just remove the back of the hand, like so. And then place the hand into the handle. And then just replace the back of the hand and place the ball joint back in its socket. And then you have the Verde Buster holding one of its waist cannons. Again, it's just a very finicky gimmick. It is very difficult to kind of get everything lined up. However, once you get it on there, it is quite solid. It doesn't hold it very well, so you'll see that it's quite loose in the hand, but having those sub arms really helps it kind of keep it up and keep it pointing in the direction that you want it to point. And then the second waist cannon is exactly the same. You'll see you just gotta place the hand onto the handle, place the cover back, and then put the cannon back onto the ball joint. Pretty simple. It's a pretty cool gimmick. The cannons are very cool looking. I like the fact that they're not just two pieces kind of sandwiched together. There is some color separation there. You've got the orange, you've got the grays, and they are really cool designs too. So it is a very cool gimmick. It is very finicky, especially at this scale. And there you go. Two cannons kind of pointed out and deployed and ready to go. And the fact that you have these shoulder cannons as well, kind of pointing forward, it is a very cool look. But again, just kind of very finicky. Now, the waist cannons do have a second configuration, which I guess is the Verde Buster's second gimmick. Now, to deploy this gimmick, you will want to take the waist cannons off of their subarms again, which again just makes things a lot easier for you. And then you'll want to turn the subarms so that the ball joint socket is facing upward. And then you will want to rotate the waist cannons so that they are kind of facing, the tops are facing each other. And you'll see that on the left waist cannon there is a tab, and then on the right there is a slot. And then you're just going to want to put those two together. And they go together pretty well, especially since the sub arm kind of helps them guide them together and align. And you get kind of essentially a larger kind of cannon. However, there is also another deployment version where you can kind of take these giant bayonets out from under each waist cannon, giving the Verde Buster kind of a well-needed melee weapon, which it doesn't actually have. So I think this is a pretty cool thing. It does remind me a lot of the more modern IBO scissor weapon. I believe that is the Gujon Rebakes. But it is very cool. It is definitely unwieldy. Now, this doesn't stand up very well due to the fact that it makes it very front heavy. But it is a cool look. Now, in terms of accessories, it comes with this base, and that's pretty much it. Pretty much all the accessories are part of the kit itself, and the base is the only thing that's not really part of the actual suit. Now, it comes with two arms, one where the peg is angled forward to give your kit an action pose, and then one where it's just angled straight up, and that gives it kind of a flying, floating pose. Now, there aren't a lot of high grades that come with an action base or a stand, so this is pretty cool. It's definitely needed, especially when it has the waist cannons deployed forward like this, as it will not stand with those. So that's a pretty cool kind of addition. Definitely needed, especially since the Verde Buster doesn't come with anything other than this. Now, do I think that after 14 years this kit holds up? I think design-wise, absolutely. It is still one of the coolest designs, at least in my opinion, that came out from Seed. So the Buster and the Verde Buster, I think, were one of the cooler designs. In terms of the kit itself, it is a little limited by having its joints blocked and by the waist cannons. It is definitely a kit of its time with as all the seam lines and the kind of the looseness of the neck and some of the joints. So definitely I think needs an update. But apart from that, if you like the design, I don't think you can go wrong with this. And with that, guys, I want to thank you for watching this video. Please check out our sponsor, Canadian Gundam, where you can use the code Gunpla Network to get 10% off your next order with flat rate shipping to the US and Canada. And I will see you guys next time.